Hello. The too long I'm not watching this whole freaking video version of how to cook carbonara is finely slice and dice some guanciale and begin to fry that slowly. Begin cooking some pasta and then finally grate some hard sheep's cheese. Mix in some eggs and some egg yolks, also mix in some pepper. About that time the pasta will be mostly cooked, so drain the pasta but keep the pasta water. Add some of that pasta water to the now melted guanciale. Add some pasta water to that egg and cheese mix. Mix it all together over a low heat and add more pepper if necessary. Make sure you thoroughly mix it and move it constantly. Then take it off the heat before the egg scrambles and plate it up. Garnish with more cheese or pepper. Stick around to see why it took me a month and a half to make this 20-minute recipe. What's cooking, good looking? Hello, I'm Tyrone. Like your shoelaces, you tie your own. As you saw from the intro, today's cooking adventure is spaghetti carbonara, and it doesn't have many ingredients, so it's important you get the ingredients right. One of the ingredients is guanciale, and I couldn't find that anywhere. But all of my local butchers had pig's cheeks for sale. And that's what you make guanciale out of. Guanciale is cured pig's cheeks or pork jowl. How you turn that into guanciale? Well, you add 7% of its weight in kosher salt or 2% in curing salt, and then a variety of other spices and sugars. What the salt does is it draws out the moisture, and what the sugar does is it melts into where that moisture should have been, bringing the spices with it. When the moisture goes off, that's what turns the meat rancid. But when you draw the moisture out, the meat can last for a lot longer period of time. And the reason for 2% curing salt or 7% kosher salt is, in general, that doesn't allow bad bacteria to grow. Because this is for an Italian dish, some of the ingredients that I used to cure it had to be peppers and it had to be garlics. Once you've covered your pig's cheek in spices, chuck it in your fridge for a week, and then you'll be greeted with this. This is a somewhat rubbery, yet significantly less moist pig's cheek. Add some hooks to it, or if you don't have hooks, just general butcher's twine, and then hang it up in a fairly neutral temperature and fairly humid environment. So for me, that's under my house. And leave it for a month. After a month, I was greeted with this. This is cured pig's cheek or guanciale. You can use it for carbonara. What else can you use it for? Well, smash that subscribe button and we'll find out together. In doing my research into how to create hard sheep's cheese in the time I had available, I couldn't find anything that fit the bill. So instead I went down and visited Nicole at Grandvewe.
My name is Nicole and I'm one of the owners.
How to head to Grandvewe? Head south from Hobart. When you get to Kingston, take the far right lane so that you bypass Kingston entirely and head towards the fork in the road. You're going to go down the channel. At the fork in the road, take the exit that points you towards the Bruny Island ferry, that points you towards Margate. We're going past the Margate train now. Go through Margate, continue on, head down through Snug. This is a cute little town. Head past Kettering. This is where the Bruny Island ferry is. Continue past Kettering Another couple of kilometres, you'll start to see signs for Grandvewe. Head through Woodbridge. It's not much past Woodbridge, only a couple of kilometres. And then there is the turnoff. You can see it's well signed. There's a Grandvewe Hartshorn sign on the right that tells you where to turn off. And a few kilometres up this dirt road, you'll be greeted by this cute little cafe. This is Grandvewe and Hartshorn.
After your oldest, sheepiest, hardest cheese.
Easy. Oldest, hardest, sheepiest cheese.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Thank you. So, what is this?
This is a 2-year-old Manchego style.
Okay.
It's a Spanish style of cheese.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you guys win the best vodka in the world, you might as well see what your cheese is
Well, it's
about.
funny, that whey that comes from that particular cheese is one of the 4 whey profiles that we use in the ferment.
Yeah, righto. And so the bready smell that I smelled when walking in is the vodka fermenting?
No, that's the stills running.
I gotta ask,
Yeah.
peated vodka?
Or it's coming. You're the
Okay.
first person to see that actually.
The next thing you'll want is Semolina Pasta. The reason for Semolina Pasta is ordinary pasta, egg pasta, flour ordinary pasta is slightly smoother, whereas the semolina is a slightly gruffer grind, which means it's going to hold on to that carbonara sauce and bring that creamy goodness to your face a little bit better. How you make it? Well, grab 500 grams of semolina flour and mix that with about 300 mils of water. If you slowly add the water, I find that makes it easier to combine and then, therefore, easier to knead. And kneading is something you need to do to it. Knead it for at least 10 minutes. Then you'll be greeted with this coarse but silky mix, ready to be sliced up and stretched out through your pasta maker. There are plenty of ways to do this, but the pasta maker is generally the easiest. Roll it through once, fold it into thirds, and then move the wheel one size down until you get to the desired thickness. And then roll it through the desired cutter to get the desired pasta shape. I left this fairly thick in the original rolling and then used a mix of both the fettuccine and spaghetti to get a good mix of pasta sizes to help transport that sauce to my face in the end. Once you've done that, hang it up to dry out a little bit. This rack isn't anything special. In fact, you don't even need a special rack. You can hang it up on the edge of a broom handle if you want. Or you can pay hundreds of dollars for a specific pasta drying rack. That cost me $20 from a storage shop and it does the job quite well. Now that you've got the ingredients, it's time to put them all together. If you're like me, you may not get things right the first time, but you get things sufficiently right to want to do it a bunch of times. Fortunately, I've done it a bunch of times in front of the camera. The first thing, slice up the guanciale. Get rid of the skin. You don't need that sort of negativity in your life. Cut it finely into small chunks and slowly bring it up to temperature. The slower you do this, the better the fat will melt. While that's happening, cook that semolina pasta that you've made, or cook that pasta that you've bought from the shop. A thick pasta is better. While it's cooking, make sure you salt it. And cook it for about 2 minutes less than what the packet says. While that's happening, finely grate your sheep's cheese. Sheep's cheese is great because it melts very easily at the sight of any sort of fluid. So when you add the eggs next, it takes that on brilliantly. If you want a slightly richer sauce, add some egg yolks as well. If you're wondering what to do with the egg whites, I can help you out there. Smash that subscribe button and check out my blueberry lemon meringue cheesecake. That's coming soon. Mix the eggs into that cheese. If you want to add pepper, this is a good time to do it. You do need to add pepper. It's where do you want to add the pepper to? Adding it to the cheese is a good option. Adding it straight to the guanciale is a good option as well. Then, your pasta should be mostly cooked. Take some of that pasta water. Mix that in with both the guanciale and with that cheesy egg mix. This will help it melt a little bit better. Then drain the pasta, but keep the pasta water just in case. The reason that you add pasta water to the guanciale as well is you don't want to scramble the eggs. You want to keep cooking the pasta in that for about 2 more minutes until it's done through. If you don't add water to the guanciale, the eggs will scramble over the pasta and it won't cook through. This is a good way to slow the cooking process down just a little bit. Then add your egg and cheese mix to that and keep it moving constantly. This is a good time to add more pepper if you think it's necessary, which chances are it is necessary. Keep it moving in this pot. These final 2 minutes are the most important. If the egg scrambles, then it won't be as good as if you have this nice, creamy sauce over the top. Once you've reached that stage, immediately take it off the heat and serve. The only thing that you should be doing between serving it out and eating it is garnishing with either pepper or more sheep's cheese. That bad boy is ready to go. The sooner you eat it, the better it will taste. Well done for making it this far. If you like content like this, then show your like by hitting that like. If you like content like this, it may come as no great surprise to see I have an entire channel of content not too dissimilar from this, so smash that subscribe button as well. Also, there's a share button. You can do that if you want. I'm just the voice of a stranger on the internet, not a cop or anything. Do what you want.